CalazCon is a show about war, obsession, colonialist occupation, and the many forms of violence those inflict. See the description for content warnings specific to this episode.
Okay, so we're going to steal a tank.
See, this is a doomsday weapon?
So we steal the obbies with the dropship.
I think we can deal with 6 dudes locked in a ship.
I'm 6 dudes all by myself.
I get into the finite reoccurrence somehow, create false self-destruct klaxons.
Oh my god! Yeah, what if we just infiltrate as Deus Ex Machina?
You have a costume, and you've never seen Deus, so... I'm going to split cameras here for a little bit. Winter, I think you are able to, or round 3 specifically, is able to make it to the Rye Recluse. Adrian, suddenly one of Winter's bodies climbs back into your Avi cockpit. They have a bound naked robot tossed over their shoulder. And I'm going to say that body 3 of Winter is also just carrying the mask, like, with them, right? Since you know that you can't use it.
Yeah. I think it's like on my belt kind of a situation.
Gossamer, what do you think? How do you react to this occurring?
I think I'm just kind of like, oh, what the fuck?
Like, you're not surprised to see me, but you're surprised,
Yeah. I guess that, like, there was a question that I was going to ask that kind of determines, like, how this next bit plays out. Like, would I be able to hack from my mech? Like, could I hack through, like, network? Or do I have to, like, get to
I think that your mech, if I'm not mistaken, is sort of specifically set up to do that, right? I mean, just declare the appropriate gear, and I think you're good.
Okay, cool. So like, I can stay in the Avi.
Like a fine coding program or something like that, or a data bomb.
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes. Because you are, like, physically plugged into this thing, and I think, that, again, like, since you're a hacker, I think your Avi is able to, like, snake out cables and, like, plug into this thing. So far, none of the other, like, you're in between 2, like, you can see the gun picture I've picked out on the Roll20 there, and you see, like, the 2 orange sections. I imagine that those are, like, kind of raised, and you're sort of in a dip here, so you're blocked from casual view by the 2 apes escorting to the side, and I don't think that the opossums can see you, because it's too tall.
Underneath or on top?
On top. Because you were described as descending down from the carrier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got spider legs, so I was just,
Yeah, totally. It could crawl around to the underside. Well, there's not really, like, you'd have to be, like, under the treads to be on the underside, which I feel like is a more dangerous position.
No, I specifically got into a position where we could, like, enter the vehicle from my...
Right. Yeah. So, yes. Answer is yes. You can... What type of hacking are you attempting to do?
So, we just have this hostage in my Avi now.
Yeah.
Okay. And they seem safe? In terms of, like, they're not gonna...
How much experience do you have with, like, robots or androids?
Not a lot. I think, like, back home, we didn't really have, like, synthetic people.
Do you want to do a quick, like, study to sort of maybe gauge the condition that Deus is in? Or something like that?
I can assist with this as well, because I have an artificial body.
That's true. Or maybe Winter wants to be the one to just do the system diagnostic on it.
Yeah. It could be a situation, Adrian, where you ask me Like, are they out? Is this safe to bring them here? Kind of a
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
thing. I'll roll and let you know.
Winter, I think are you only one box away from scarring out? Because it only costs 1 stress to help someone.
Did you mean me?
Yeah.
Well, I want to be able to push myself on my next roll. So if I
Got it.
If I take one now and then push myself later, I will scar out on my next action.
Okay.
Which
cool.
I don't want to do.
Then yeah, Winter, I think you are, this would be I think a study roll to do like a quick, diagnostic of them, right? Unless you want to make an argument for why it's something else. I could see maybe an argument being made for survey. What do you think you're doing? Are you methodically studying it, or are you sort of just like looking for like indicators and whatnot?
I think it is more of a survey because I think survey makes more sense because it is like trying to recognize in them.
Yeah, totally.
Like things I've seen in myself.
I'll give you standard effect for survey, and I would give you limited effect on study.
Okay.
Do you want to push yourself to get a 3rd die, or are you good?
No, I don't think so. I'm always up for hearing what
collateral would be.
Is it a collateral in this? Yeah, collateral.
Collateral. If you take a collateral die for this, someone is going to notice that the hull has been breached. I think for right now, the Rye Recluse has managed to mask that fact using its various hacking algorithms.
Sick. I am going to not take that. What's the position?
You're still at risky standard, unless you want to push yourself.
Gosh, yeah, let's do it. I'm relatively low on stress. Here we go. Okay.
That's a 6. You notice that Deus. So the quick blow to what would be the back of the neck on a human popped something loose within Deus's systems. But you do see there's a circular bar that is like filling up, and it's at about 25%. You think that within the next 2 or 3 minutes, Deus is going to finish rebooting and will probably begin struggling against their bonds. Let's cut back to JPG real quick here. Koa, you hear subordinates coming. They heard noises and a gunshot. And some of these members of the Hermit Crabs have run up in their little Jovangelian uniforms and are and they're using this as a gender neutral term of address just because they think you're their superior officer. And they say, "Sir, we heard a gunshot. Is everything all right?" There's 2 of them. They look like ensigns, probably.
Okay, so I would outrank them. So I would like to... I think I'm going to come off as a little bit of a mean leader.
Okay.
And I'm going to say... If I needed your help, I would have reported it to the proper security protocol, through the proper security protocols. Why are you not at your post?
This sounds like a command to me.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. 2d6 unless you want to push yourself.
No, I got 2 dice. I think I'm doing good. Okay. I think I'm doing good over here.
Also, just for audio, Marigold's roll was a 5, 6, and a 3. I don't know if we said that.
Would this be controlled, risky, or desperate?
You are still in a risky position.
The effect would be?
Standard.
All right, let's do it. That's a 5.
5 and a 4. So one of the ensigns immediately salutes, says, "Sir," and walks, begins briskly walking back to their station. The other one also snaps a salute and starts to walk away, but you notice they are they look at you suspiciously. They glance back once, but then keep going. Your position is now moving to desperate, as there is a suspicion that you may not be who you say you are. And you are deep within this rolling platform. You don't know how many staff members there are, but if one of them decides to sound an alarm, you'll probably find out real quick. I'm also going to start a clock now called Hijack the Recurrence.
Ooh, 6?
Yeah, I think it's not easy. And I'm going to put that at 1. Okay.
If I can make an argument for 2...
Not yet, because you don't even know where the steering wheel for this thing is. And you don't know how many people, you don't know how many staff there are. There's a lot to find out. Lauren, I want to check in. How are things going on the ship?
So we come in and this is Calico on the bridge of this thing, operating, I don't know, some sort of station. I think this thing, we described it as this is the sort of militarized wing of, the company that makes those fucking glass jars that are everywhere. I can't remember the name of them.
Ball jars?
Ball, yeah. Turns out they also do defense contracting.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Ball Defense for military intelligence and defense customers. Ball Aerospace. Yeah, they make mason jars, but also they make fucking military shit.
Industries, packaging, and aerospace.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's any company you know of also does war crimes. And so this is the ship, the Die-Wing Heavy Industries thing, normally they make yachts, right? Space yachts, we talked about that. But this one is a military thing. And so I think there's still this degree of luxury, or rather not hard-edged functionality in the cockpit and or the bridge. And it's me and two of Winter's rounds, I believe. I think we're running diagnostics, checking things, making sure that the bays are ready for when we receive. And I don't know that there's a lot for Calico to do right now other than, I think I know what Calico's doing. Calico is up here, basically kind of the eye in the sky right now.
Right.
Going to be running ops on this. The final act of time and reason, I think, is in this thing somewhere, and it's taking up a huge amount of space.
Sure.
So what I want to do is, I haven't declared this yet, a collection of scanners that determine composition of solids, liquids, and gases. I don't know that we need that. Here we go. Magnification suite. Your vehicle is equipped with a wide variety of optical and digital zoom operations that enhance the pilot's view of distant targets and marks them for allies. So what I'm going to do is declaring that and patching my systems into this cargo carrier, this dropship we have. And Calico is basically mapping the route so everyone knows where this thing is headed, how long it's going to take to get to, let's say, any checkpoints that are along the way, what's out there. So this whole thing, I can zoom in and be all right, here's a checkpoint, here's how many guards might be at it, here's a patrol moving this way. And I've also going to tag and mark all of the escort avies for everybody and try and get a rundown on what they are. Because I know we kind of are vaguely
so
aware.
I think now that you have the eye in the sky and you've deployed the magnification suite, there are 2 opossums in front and 2 opossums in back. Just sort of like spotter cars almost for this huge thing. And then off to the left and right are 2 apes walking along on each side of the...
Can I see what the apes are armed with?
Oh, you sure can. They've got standard armaments, which I'm just gonna look up what that is real quick.
3
loads of guns. So it looks like
guns.
they got machine guns on each hand and then a shoulder-mounted machine gun.
Yep, 3 AWV machine guns with limited armor.
Yeah, apes are not heavily armored. They are a light. I think both of these I think are classified as light. Oh no, the opossums are medium, but the opossums are like an APC basically.
Okay, so yeah, we're flying above, and I'm just running survey to try and get us a timeline, potential threats coming up. I know we're in a desperate position right now, so
I would say I think you specifically are still in a risky position.
Yeah, that feels right. We're trying not to be seen. We're up here.
Go ahead and give me some survey juice then.
Yeah, all right, rolling survey juice.
You do still you have your final pool here, and so
what's my effects on this?
Still standard, I think. I don't see any particular. I mean,
do I get any bonus from patching the analytical suite in, or is that just what's fictionally allowing me to even do this, which makes sense?
I think that's what's allowing you to do it, but also, I think basically what you're doing is sort of a general setup role for anyone else who wants to do something, in the future.
The other thing I'm trying to make sure is that, we have the, even the people inside, the Rye Recluse maybe doesn't have the best vision to what's going on everywhere, but can still pull up a little map that has all of the targets like tagged on it.
And so this is going to increase effect for the rest of your fellows.
Okay,
all
so
right,
I got
so
a 3 on my roll, but then 4 automatically gets dumped in from...
Exactly. So that's a success at a cost. So you do what you want, and you're able to download this telemetry to the right recluse and, transmit it to, like, Koa's, iPad or whatever. But consequence here is that you are now outside of the edge of the curse.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
So your cloud disguise dissipates. So far, nobody has looked up, but if someone does...
This thing is pretty big, right? I don't know how much air traffic is going on here, but I imagine we're not like literally right above
No.
thing.
Yeah, you're not flying super low, but again, if you are now, if somebody looks up, they're going to see. Because I also think that this, this is an Avi carrier that can carry multiple Avis. It's like pretty big.
It is pretty big, which is why I was saying like I don't know what the airspace is like here. There might be more ships, but even still, I think we stand out.
Yes, exactly. So, I believe there was some talk of trying to trick these people into thinking that this transport was here for them.
Yeah.
Did somebody want to do something with that? That sounds like it's a thing Edrian would have to sort of pull off, or maybe Koa could now that they've successfully infiltrated.
We're talking about potentially getting like the access codes for Jovangelion stuff so that Weaver could use their program, but I don't know if that's still what the plan is.
Also, why don't you go ahead and roll your survey twice?
That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Oh, I was thinking my main plan was to set off the self-destruct button so that everybody gets the fuck out.
Okay. Do you have a plan to stop the self-destruct afterwards?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That was
was a lie.
That was the least believable I've ever heard.
I feel like Devin is going to blow up this gun and fail the mission for y'all, which I'm fine with.
My prediction pool is a 5, 2 4s, and a 3.
Beautiful. All right. Yeah, who wants to do a thing? We've all sort of had at least one action, so I'm going to...
I've not had any actions.
Oh, you haven't done anything? All right, nope. Adrian, what do you want to do?
I want to set off the...
You want to just go ahead and set it off?
Well, I'm a hacker. I don't have to just... I can do more complex things besides just push button. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell me how this happens and what, if any, vehicle gear you're sort of deploying to do it. This kind of sounds like maybe the fine coding program.
Yeah, I was going to use my fine coding program to get into the code on this thing. And how I'm like editing the code is I'm setting off the self-destruct like alarm sequence, but I have it coded in there that it'll stop at 1 second left.
Okay. This does sound like a desperate action, so that's good. Oh, wait. Also, anyone who's rolled desperate so far, or no, I don't think we've actually rolled on desperate, have we? We got to it, but this will be the first roll in it.
We got to it, but yes, you're correct. This is the first roll.
I just want to make sure I don't miss giving out XP to anybody who rolls on it. Yeah, I think this is a desperate action. What are you? And it sounds like an interface to me.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned you were planning to push yourself with your next action.
Yes.
Is this that action that you were planning to push yourself on? Okay.
Yes.
So you're starting at 3 dice. I don't know if anyone can help you with this, since it requires a high level of expertise. You could get a collateral die.
Yeah. What is it?
Same one I offered to Marigold. Someone will notice that there has been a hull breach. They won't necessarily immediately identify where it is or see the recluse, but the escort obvies will be told to start doing a visual sweep of the exterior.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
Okay.
We got Calico on survey. Calico can help out if things get dire on the outside.
Yeah, you sure do.
And this is desperate, so I want those 4 dice.
Okay. This is an interface, so go ahead and mark 1 resolve XP before you even roll it.
Okay. What would my effect be?
This is a standard effect, but this will start filling that hijack the recurrence clock because people will start evacuating it, which I think will make it easier to hijack.
Okay.
I mean, I could tell you what the consequence will be if you roll less than a 6.
So the fine coding program that doesn't get me any increased effect, or is the increased effect getting me too standard?
Let's call it great effect.
Okay.
Sure. Why not? Because it is a fine coding program. But yeah, I mean, if you get less than a 6, you know what's going to happen.
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think you can guess.
I assume that a self-destruct sequence has a timer on it at least.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And the self-destruct sequence will definitely start if you get a 5 or 4.
All right, so I'm pushing myself and I cloud roll dice. That's 2 extra dice. And why did it only roll 2?
I don't know, just roll 2 more.
Okay.
That was a 3 and a 4 for those listening at home.
I was going to say, oh God, please roll 2 more.
The bugs. It's the bugs.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Oh God, the 4th wall. It's breaking.
5.
That's a 5.
There's a 5.
We're having fun over here.
Oh, also, I'm going to start a new thing here called Deus Wakes Up. And I'm just going to tick that once every time that a thing happens. Because we've established in the fiction that they are rebooting. I like how I tried to build up all this mystery around whether or not Deus was a robot, and you guys just immediately knocked them out and took off their faceplate. And were like, so are they a robot or what? And I was like,
I had to know.
Like, yeah. Yeah, they are. Okay. Koa, klaxons begin going off throughout the recurrence as voices over the speaker system declare that self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Self-destruct will commence in how long did you set the timer for, Devin? Adrian?
Like 5 minutes probably.
5 minutes. Self-destruct will complete in 5 minutes. Reactor core meltdown imminent. And people begin flooding out of the thing. The Avies all stop as the recurrence grinds to a halt as the driver immediately abandons post and runs out. It's like rats from a sinking ship, right? It's just bodies are streaming out of this thing. Edriad, you get a little pop-up notification in your hacking rig. It doesn't appear that your command to stop the countdown at 1 was accepted by the thing. So, to the best of your knowledge, this thing is going to explode when it hits 0.
Excellent. I want to resist that.
Oh, wow. I keep forgetting you can do that. Okay.
Forget that the players can just say no?
Damn.
I will scar out, but I'm going to take bleed over stress for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible that you roll 2D for your resolve resist.
Mm-hmm.
Or I have Mastermind. You may spend your spark to protect a squad mate. Press yourself when given information. Would this be protecting a squad mate since...
Protect is a specific thing. Describe how you maneuver yourself to take a consequence that would otherwise affect a squad mate. You can suffer that consequence in their place and resist it as normal.
Could I use Tactical Genius? 2 times permission, you can assist a squad mate without paying the stress.
You can't assist on a resistance roll, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. This is, fiction first sort of thing. Edriad has to resist this himself. Give us that hot resist roll.
3. All right, so I scar out, and then I take 2 extra stress.
That's a 3 and a 1 for those keeping track.
3 and a 1.
Yeah, you take 3 stress and you scar out. Do you want to remove yourself from the scene, or do you want to begin taking desperate actions?
Ooh, I like that.
Just remember that if you roll less than a 4, you get first of all, I believe you. No, because you're not at level 3 harm. So, desperate actions mean that every time you roll, if you get less than a 6, you immediately take a level 3 harm and are removed from the scene, right?
Okay.
And that I believe can't be resisted if I'm not mistaken. Also, I don't believe it rolls over. Your stress goes all the way to 0, and you do take a scar.
Oh, but I only had 1 spot left, or one tick left.
Right. It doesn't roll over. It just fills up your bar to 9. And if you're staying in the scene, you're just at 9 stress and you don't have the scar yet. If you're allowing yourself to be withdrawn, which would only be like withdrawing back to the carrier, I think. Like you could re-enter later. You just have to be good.
My thought was that the only way to resist this and keep this thing from exploding is that for the next like 5 minutes while the sequence is going, I need to be consistently hacking in order to keep the thing from blowing up.
Sure. Okay. And that is a way to, I think, you are removed from the scene and that you can't take any other actions.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and mark your stress down to 0. Because yeah, it doesn't roll over. It just fills up. That's one of the nice things about stressing out. And what scar do you think this is going to give you?
I'm going to think about that.
Okay. So Adrian is now is going to have to manually abort this sequence, right? Mm-hmm. Essentially. Okay.
That's 3 out of 6 on the clock, at least.
That is 3 out of 6 on the clock. But the robots, the obbies, are now actively, like the 2 apes have turned inward and are now actively examining the recurrence for what is causing this problem. They are approaching it. One of them begins, the one on the south here on the map, begins climbing up the side.
Could I use the comms in there in order to speak with the Avis?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you say?
I think with a very authoritative tone, it's Avis. This is Deus Ex Machina. I am personally heading up the evacuation inside. The blast radius will be too large. I'm calling it in a transport to get your Avis to safety.
Woo! Okay. This is a desperate command, for sure.
Yeah. Obvious.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and mark resolve XP.
Okay.
You start at 2 dice. Do you want to get help? Do you want to push yourself? Do you want a collateral die?
Pushing myself for sure.
Okay. Mark that.
What's the collateral die?
What's the collateral die?
What's a collateral die?
Anybody got ideas for a collateral die here? I'm open to suggestions.
Let me do this because it's a very cute idea.
I mean, I could do that, but then you don't get a collateral die.
I'm just kidding.
Either something to do with, like, not all of them are gonna go.
Yeah.
Or like a no, Captain, you can't go down with the ship. We need you kind of thing. Like we'll leave someone, like leaving some behind for extraction. Or it would be very funny to be like, okay, here's your transport. There's supposed to be like an IFF code or something and we just don't have it.
Right. But see, the collateral can't be something that'll automatically result in failure, right? So I think
none of that's failure. That's just like additional complications.
More complications.
I think the collateral is that ensign who's already suspicious of you is in the communications room with you when you send this message. If you take the collateral
that's good.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So so I take the collateral, that's 4 die.
Yeah. I think Winter you could conceivably still have a body here, but I think it sounds like probably not, right? Round 3, at least, is with Adrian.
Oh, no. No, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. So I don't think anyone else is in a position to help you right now, Koa. So give me that 4d6 command.
Command, we're doing this at Desperate.
Mm-hmm.
The effect is, what do you think?
Oh, this is great. This is great effect.
All right, let's do it to it. That's a 6. That's a 6.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Calico, you hear this. I would assume you're also sneakily sending this comm to Calico so that they know the time has come to descend and take those Avis on board.
Like my comm is on while the comm for the other Avis is on at the same time.
Okay, so I think Calico at this point is like, okay, there's a nearby sports arena?
Sure.
That we can touch down, touch down in, I guess.
I figured that with an Avi, with a dropship, you could just you fly down low enough and arms extend from the bottom and
that's
grab
sick.
These things.
I like that actually.
I mean,
that's really cool.
It's a tier 3 piece of equipment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just assuming it. Yeah.
If it was tier 1 or 2.
Oh, yes. So it's cables that come down and they have to latch onto hard points and we'll retract them back up into the little hexes. I do love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think Calico's like, okay, these are the coordinates to have them meet me at. I've scoped it out. It's far enough away. That sort of thing.
Yeah, using that survey roll from earlier, Calico, I think you're able to beam a pickup point to all 6 of these Avis, right? Now that they are expecting your communique, they all like move. They're like, right away, Captain, and they move off. They're no longer escorting this thing. This is not to scale, but you get it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to give you all right. You still don't have complete control of this thing. I think that suspicious ensign is with you, but still hasn't taken any action against you. It's still giving you the side eye. Maybe thinks that like your voice isn't quite right. You're acting a little bit out of character. That kind of stuff. But the 6 Avi escort moves over and is now being picked up by what was it called? The something odds? The
Glorious odds?
Glorious odds, that's correct. Wow.
Yeah, so what do I need to do? I actually have a decent amount of dice in maneuver. So I think this is me like kind of getting in and holding.
Oh, see, I was thinking that because they are cooperating with you, that you don't even have to like roll for the actual pickup. But what I am going to do is start a clock called. So one, I'm going to advance the real Deus's reboot clock by 1.
Okay. Then this I think is what's happening, because we already talked about this issue. Is once they get in there, they're going to be like,
yeah,
what the fuck? So,
but I think I'm starting a new 6-step clock called "There are 6 enemies on your ship."
Calico straight up looks at Winter's bodies and is like, "Winter, you have the helm." Stands up and just pulls back the bolt on an assault rifle as they walk down into the
You're just
hold.
gonna execute these 6 dudes, aren't you?
Look, the whole thing with Calico is like they used to be a spiritual leader, and once they became the pilot, like they don't get to go back. They are a soldier.
Absolutely.
And it's time to do some fucking soldiering.
Hold on, I just gotta check and see what our global lines and veils are real quick. Just so I know. Where is that?
Like, I don't think this is gonna straight up be
No, I'm sure it'll be fine.
But
well,
Calico engaged in a firefight with a bunch of soldiers in a giant hangar with like the bottom open to the city where a war is going on. Just sounds sick as hell.
Each one's in its own hangar, though, right?
yes, each one is in its own hangar.
They're these like hexes that are on the sides, and they kind of like come up, but in the same way that like I imagine there's walkways where you like go and get into the mechs, but those connect to like a main hangar area.
For sure.
At some point, someone's gonna figure something out.
Yeah, all right, cool. There's nothing about straight up putting a bullet in the dome of somebody, so cool.
I think I'm marking off a shotgun.
All right, we're going to come back to that. I'm going to see if Koa can bring us on home. Also, I do think that I think your positioning has now moved back to risky. No, it's still desperate because this thing could explode. No, because we resisted that consequence.
Yeah.
So it won't, yeah. The fact that this thing definitely won't actually self-destruct.
Nobody knows that, though.
Nobody knows that, but also nobody knows that you didn't, like, you haven't told anyone you didn't succeed on that in the first place.
Yeah, I just think it's going to stop at one still.
Exactly, which it is. You just don't know that that's going to happen manually. Instead.
Yeah, right? It's the same result.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody knew the whole time that it was... Koa, what are you doing?
I still have the one ensign with me. Correct?
Yes, and he does not trust you, but he hasn't pulled a gun on you. He's just but he also notably is not evacuating. He looks at you and he says, "Captain, he's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't trust you." And I'm not even sure if Koa realizes how suspicious of him this guy is, but we, the viewers, right? The camera knows that he's suspicious of you. But he says, "Captain, the escort Avis have been successfully picked up by the carrier, don't you think it's time for you to go ahead and make good your evacuation?
Ensign, I am the commanding officer of this deck. My responsibility is to your lives. You are not responsible for mine. Get to safety.
Sir, you and I are the only crew left on this machine. I'd feel much better giving you an escort.
God, I'm gonna have to command again.
Okay.
They are... Okay, so I want to say...
This guy's like 20. Like, his mustache hasn't fully come in yet.
Yeah.
But he's not shaving.
Ensign, are you willing to disobey direct order?
Sir, no, sir.
Then I directly order you to save the life of a good officer, and that is you. Get off of my ship.
Okay. Roll me command.
All right. Okay, so I got 2. What's a collateral? What's collateral you want to give me, please?
Collateral is that...
He just starts blasting.
No, that's if you fail. He just starts blasting. Okay. Again, I can't make the collateral an automatic failure thing. Like, you still have to... It has to be like a separate thing. I'm trying to think of like something weird or suspicious that could pop up. I think I like this idea that Lauren had earlier. Collateral die, the Glorious Odds IFF is gonna like glitch out for a couple of moments, and like on the screen behind you, it'll like briefly flicker from a Jovangelion carrier to a DFS one, and there will be a chance that he sees that.
I love that. I'll definitely take in that.
Which I think in practical terms will mean if you take the collateral, essentially, I'm going to put you back at a desperate.
I'm okay with that.
I'm just going to move you to desperate position, and you can take XP for rolling this.
Okay, that's going to be Resolve XP. The effect would be what?
This, I mean, you only need 1 to finish out the clock, right? So it doesn't really matter.
Okay,
but it's standard,
then.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be 3 die in total.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm. You're not pushing yourself?
That's a 4. I'm not pushing myself on that one.
Okay. So here's how this goes down. Because
and for the listeners, I got a 4, a 1, and a 4.
Yes. You successfully hijacked the recurrence with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't necessarily successfully convince this kid that you are who you say you are. I think it's the classic, he draws his pistol and fires, you draw yours and fire at the same time, right? And he's dead. And you take a level 3 harm, grievously wounded.
Oh no! Can I resist it?
You can. Yeah. This would be a prowess resist.
Oh no. Okay, so prowess, I have 1 die in it.
That's correct.
And I cannot push myself, correct?
Not on a resist roll, no.
Okay.
Because remember, it's 6 minus whatever you get on the die. It's how much stress you take to resist.
Oh,
so you
no.
automatically resist it, which is going to resist it down to a level 2 harm. Perforated? Perforated's a good level 2 harm.
I like that word. Wait, so do I not roll or do I roll?
You do roll.
You roll.
Okay.
Or you automatically resist the consequence. This is just determining how much stress it costs you.
Got it. Okay, so I'm
Can't
rolling the 1 die
fail a
right.
resist roll. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm rolling the 1 die right now, and that's a 3.
So you take 3 stress, which puts you at 9 stress, which means you are going to stress out and take a scar.
Okay.
But fortunately, like, you don't need to roll anymore. So you like, I think, you are able to drive this thing, but not really take any other, significant story actions for the moment, right? And you have a level 2 harm, which is perforated, as the kid's bullet like rips through your shoulder or whatever. I don't know where a survivable bullet wound is. Use your imagination.
By the way, the scar I took earlier is obviously reckless.
That makes sense. I was feeling it was either that or obsessed.
I'm already not scar obsessed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wait. Oh, I already know what I'm going to take. I got to take Haunted.
Haunted? Yeah, because you just shot this 20-year-old kid in the head.
Shot a kid.
Beautiful.
Welcome to war.
So go ahead and yeah, Koa, you can bring your stresses down to 0 there too. But again, if you want to act again in the scene, you would have to start taking desperate actions. But assuming that you don't,
I think what I do is like the last thing I do before like I start bleeding out is I just point it towards where we're supposed to be meeting the terminal company.
Yeah,
and then I just let it auto drive and I kind of like slump down and just hope for somebody to find me.
you punch in the route that Calico has beamed down to you, and just perfect. All right, so Calico, as you go to deal with these enemies on your ship,
Yep.
Winter, are all 5 of your bodies staying in the cockpit to fly, or are a couple of you going with Calico as backup?
Probably 2 stay in the cockpit, and the rest go with Calico.
Okay, so there's 4 of y'all, then it sounds like, right? 3 Winters and 1 Calico?
3 Winters and a Calico, yeah.
That's my favorite book about cats.
Is that the children's book we're putting out after?
There's 3 Winters and a Calico.
I love it.
I hate myself. All right, yeah, are you splitting up? Are you trying to do these one at a time?
I said before it was an assault rifle, but I think it's a shotgun. I'm marking shotgun because close is better. And I think like we get down there and I Calico's like, I think there might be a lift that you take down.
Okay.
To the docking bay.
Sure.
And Calico's like, Winter, are you sure you want to do this? You can go back to the bridge.
I'm going to move this back to a risky position because that desperate was only for Koa.
Because my connection with Winter is they see all the angles, but they never think far enough ahead.
Oh, right.
This is Calico being like, I'm going. You don't have to. Are you sure you want to risk losing someone here? That is a very distinct possibility.
Right.
And I don't, like, Calico's not saying all this, but that is what is communicated when they're like, Winter, are you sure you want to do this?
Oh, also, sorry, I think Deus is going to wake up after whatever you do next, so
okay.
Just be aware of that. So one of the Winter's pledge bodies will probably have to deal with that, the one that's on board Rye.
Yeah. Okay, so, and I'm looking at my connection with Calico. Calico knew one of my bodies from before, and has a hard time believing they prefer this form of existence.
Yeah.
We will convince them.
Did we determine which body that was? I thought it was the Gwendolyn Christie body.
Oh, was it? So it's the one that's gone?
That's the one that's with Edrian right now, yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
I think that's the one that is, but, like, do y'all share, like, the same thoughts and things? Am I able, like, is me talking to this one going through to the other bodies?
Yeah, I think that's how the hive works, right?
I mean, definitely, but you would, I would have used the specific body if I...
For sure. So, yeah.
But instead, you're talking to Body 2, which is kind of our stout, elder Latin American Mexican looking guy with a big mustache. They all have bolo ties, as a reminder. And you basically gave us a chance to back out, just go back to the bridge and focus on the destination rather than taking care of these intruders with you. Intruders we abducted, but intruders all the same. And I think Body 2 says to you, you know that our first inclination would have been diplomacy, but we will follow your lead in this endeavor because your safety is more important than our ideals in this situation.
Fair enough.
And with that, you enter the hangar bay of the first Avi.
Right. I feel like...
Which one would you start with? One of the apes or one of the opossums?
One of the apes. I feel like it's one of the apes because I imagine what are the other ones? Possums? Otters? I forget what they're called.
There's 2 apes and 4 opossums.
Possums. So I imagine those probably are like... Because they look like little cars, right? Probably
have
little
cars with guns on the top.
Crew.
Yeah.
Whereas the apes are probably a single pilot. And I think all hell is going to break loose. I think this is going to be a full-on, like, firefight. And what happens is like that first hangar opens, we're on the gantry, and like the door opens, and I don't know if it's us who walk through first. I really like the idea that it's us who walk through first, and the pilot is like getting out.
Yes, exactly.
And then all we hear is just this like shotgun ring, and then it like cuts to the other soldiers who are like getting out of their obvies, like
That's actually almost the exact scene I had in my mind. So that sounds like a struggle to me, buddy.
Oh, I believe that is absolutely a struggle, which, by the way, Calico's good at this.
Yeah.
Calico's got a 2 in struggle, and Calico also... There's a thing here that is, like, part of the forewarned is I know an action here has to go bad. And Calico knows that walking into this. Calico knows there is a 3 banked in there, because whatever card that they turned over was like, you're gonna get fucked up at some point today. But this ain't it. This isn't the one. So I'm rolling, and I'm also dropping just a 4 in on this. So we're gonna do action roll.
So that gives us a 4, a 3, and a 5 left in the prediction pool?
Yep, so submit. This is a risky situation, you said?
Yeah, I would say that is accurate.
What's my effect?
You're only trying to shoot one guy. There's 6 of these crews.
Yeah.
I think it's limited, right?
Okay, then what I want to do is maybe, like, zoom out a little bit, like this is the first one, and then it immediately erupts into a firefight. I want to drop myself down to Desperate to raise my effects to, Standard.
Okay. Do you want to push yourself or anything, or are you happy to just roll one die? I'm
going to push myself.
Okay. I think that's your first stress of the mission.
There's no point in pushing myself when I already know I'm getting a 4.
Well, you could get a 6 and not get any consequences at all.
I guess I could get a 6 and not get any consequences at all. So yeah, I'll push myself. I will.
Especially if you're dropping to Desperate, because those Desperate consequences are rough.
Yeah, I will push myself. Oh, but also I could just spend my spark to be like, actually, that doesn't happen.
That's only if it's caused by the die from your prediction.
Yes.
Right.
That is true. So I'm saying I've got the 3 banked and I know I can kind of get around it.
Right. But that's if you spend the 3.
I'm pushing myself. It's a 3 and a 4 and a 4. So
okay.
I'll mark 2 stress for Calico.
All right. So first of all, you immediately murk the 2 ape pilots as they're climbing out.
Okay. Yeah, it's just blam, click, blam.
Yes. The desperate consequence here, though, is that the crews of the opossums see this happen. And as you guessed, each of those opossums had a 2-man crew in it, a driver and a gunner. And they immediately surround you and start returning fire, right? You are going to take the level 3 harm riddled unless you would like to resist it.
I would like to resist it.
That'll get you down to a level 2 harm.
I'm going to spend my 5, so I only take 1 stress for the resist.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to spend 2 of... I'm out here heavy. I'm spending 2 armor, so it's actually only a level 1 harm.
So, well, the first armor reduces it down to level 1, and then second armor would
well, I thought resisting it was going to reduce it to level 2.
Right.
And then I'm spending my first armor, which is 2 boxes.
Oh, you mean 2 low? Okay, sorry. When you said spend 2 armor, I thought you meant...
No, I don't have that
armor
much.
And heavy armor. Yes, then yeah, that would get you down to level 1 effect. We'll call it battered, because your armor, is absorbing those bullet, but it like, I don't know if you've ever seen somebody who's gotten hit while they're wearing like ceramic armor or whatever, it still leaves huge bruises underneath, right?
And the thing is, like, this is terrifying, I think, for Winter to witness, is like, Calico knew exactly where to be to dodge gunfire, and then just getting shot, just bouncing off the armor, and Calico just walking down the gantry, firing back with a shotgun at these guys.
Now,
this is the first time I think we've seen Calico, like, be a soldier, and it's scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Winter, you've got 3 bodies here. Do you want to do something to try and do something?
Yeah. We're in the hangar. The big hangar, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get into my 3 obbies because I'm much better I can destroy, maneuver, and all that kind of chunk. For my obvies, a lot better than just standing here. I'm not really built to fight in my bodies.
Yeah, so are you going to hop in your obvies and just try and wreck these opossums then?
Yeah.
Sick. Okay.
Yeah, you could mark anti-infantry defenses.
Yeah, I was going to say,
fuck you guys.
What kind of equipment are you using in your robot?
In my robot? Yeah. So, let's see. I have...
Wait, do they get to declare vehicle gear for each of the vehicles separately?
Surely they're
We'd be here all day.
Identical.
Yeah. Okay.
They're identical, so you just assume that they've all been equipped with the same stuff. So, hold on, let me take a peek at destroy. When you destroy your enemy, overwhelming destruction through your vehicle, you might carpet bomb military base. You might smash a building with a wrecking ball. Okay, so I'm saying,
you want to fire indiscriminately? Is what I'm hearing.
No, I'm doing melee weapon stuff. I'm trying to I'm just trying to smash. I'm trying to crush with because I can do little machine gun fire stuff. So if I was just trying to shoot the dudes, but I'm just trying to smash these things.
Okay. Yeah, and you want to do that as a destroy?
Yeah, I think what I'm trying to do actually is probably a combination of kind of stationary destroy, I guess, and shoving these things out of the back of the...
Yeah, you want to shove them back. This is an idea that I've been sitting on, but I didn't want to say anything. But yeah, you're just gonna shove the opossums back through the hangar because now you're airborne,
right?
And they'll crash and die.
Yeah, that should take care of itself.
Aren't we supposed to be extracting those?
Right, but now you're far enough away now, right?
Right,
and you do have the two. You have the two apes. Right?
Okay, cool. I wanted to be.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't care if Winter's just gonna fucking throw them out. That's totally fine. This 100% fits with my Winter sees all the angles, but they never think far enough ahead. Winter's like, oh, this is the easiest way to get rid of those. I'm like, we could have sold that shit.
Yeah,
I love it. I do. I really do.
I mean, I was hoping for all 6, but do whatever at this point.
No, I love that Winter's just the easiest solution right now is to just eject these motherfuckers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That sounds like a destroy roll. Do you want to push your vehicle using any of your quirks?
Yeah, I have this thing called nomadic limbs. Yeah.
I was going to say, just from what you described, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, basically.
So that'll get you up to two destroy dice. Calico, are you helping somehow?
You know what? Calico is helping here. I think Calico sees that this is what they're going for and is like, fuck, I wish we would have kept these things, but that's fine. Better than dying, and we still have the apes. I think Calico's gonna... Because they're firing at Calico from, in the vehicles, right?
Yeah.
They've popped
leaning
out. They're leaning out and firing at you because they're using the vehicles because they're armored vehicles, so they're using that as cover, right?
They're using it as cover.
They're not getting out of them entirely.
I think what Calico is doing is running to a nearby console and going to, while under fire, start releasing the docking clamps.
Perfect.
To help out.
And then this is going to start at risky standard. If you do want to drop yourself to a desperate position, you can get it up to great. This'll only, because there's only 3 of your ramparts available right now, your maximum you can do is get rid of 3 of the possums, right?
Right. In one go.
Right.
And my aid, I think, is increasing your effect here.
Oh, your help is going to increase the effect. Okay, then you'd be at risky great already.
Okay, I'm at risky great with 2 die.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing yourself in a mech is just using the quirks, right?
That's correct, and you've already done that, I believe.
That's correct. Okay,
you can take a collateral if you'd like.
So, tell me about it.
How do you feel about one of your bodies going out the airlock with the opossum that you're grappling?
Not great. I will leave that one on the table.
Not great. Not great, they say.
You know what? No, not going to do that.
I'm pretty attached to these bodies.
Me at the Last Supper, one of you will betray me.
Yeah. Okay. 2 dice.
Two dice?
Or not desperate great.
No, risky great.
Risky great.
Mm-hmm.
Action roll. 5.
It's a 5 and a 2. So you are able to successfully eject 3 of these opossums out the hatch. They fall to the ground and explode, presumably far below. Consequence here is going to be a level 2 damage for your Avi.
Okay.
As that the fourth one, the surviving one, the gunner takes control of the turret on top and just lights up one of the rolling ramparts.
Yeah.
Take the level 2 damage riddled.
Riddled.
A lot of machine guns happening this time around. Y'all are lucky that they didn't fire the big gun at you.
Uh-huh.
You're lucky that the recurrence didn't get fired upon you, but your plan was good enough to prevent that from happening. That was like a thing that I definitely thought might happen, As that is happening in the cockpit of the Rye Recluse, where Edrian is fully focused on making sure that the recurrence itself does not explode, and so does not have time to deal with this. So it's going to be up to you, Winter. Deus's eyes, the LEDs where their eyes should be, light back up, and they begin to struggle against their bonds. They are trying to break out of these cuffs on their ankles and wrists. What are you going to do to stop them?
I'm still occupied, right?
Yeah. That's what I prefaced it with,
okay,
right?
Sorry.
Is that you don't have the attention to spare for this at all. So it's going to be up to Winter to deal with this.
So we knew from the start that this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been waiting for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think as they wake up, it's in that space between, when you wake up and when you realize where you are and when you start struggling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We've all been in a situation like this, and there's always a moment of pause before you get to the action.
Sure.
And in that moment, the eyes are blinking on and whatever, and Winter is just kind of squatting there in front of them so that I'm the first thing that they see.
Mm-hmm.
And
mm-hmm.
just say, hey, hey, thanks for joining us. You were out there for a little while. Before you struggle too much, you might want to hear what we have to say. Might want to understand your situation a little bit. The thing is, my buddy over there is desperately trying to keep this place from exploding. And all your friends have already left. You might notice you're missing your armor. We may have appropriated it and convinced your entire staff that you had commanded them to abandon ship. And they did. It worked. You're the only one left. So, before you go struggling in those bonds, you might want to think it over.
That was a villain speech.
Yeah, damn. Okay. I guess that's...
What are we if not villains?
I guess that's Sway. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito over here giving his speech through Gwendolyn Christie's mouth.
Brand new sentence.
New sentence dropped.
New sentence just dropped. Yeah, that's a good sort. I think you're in. All right. First of all, you are in a controlled position because presumably this body also has some sort of weapon that they could back up the threat of violence with. Well, you whacked him with a pistol to start with, right? So we know that you're holding a pistol.
Yeah.
Cool. That was good to me. So you're starting at 1 dice with Sway. You're in a controlled position. Uh-huh. Do you want to push yourself? And Edrian, I will let you assist here, I think, if you want. If you can describe a way that you can do it without breaking your concentration. Well, no, I guess you're out of the scene mechanically, right? Because you took a scar.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of subjective to determine how long out of the scene means.
Right. Well, I feel like this is still the same scene. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you help. You are still fully focused on not exploding.
Fine.
I am taking a stress to push myself.
Cool. So that's 2 stress to push yourself. So you get to start at 2 dice here. If you'd like a collateral, collateral would be that Deus breaks their ankle bonds, but not their wrist ones. But, it's still, very much depending on the consequences of this roll, might very well still be at your mercy.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. So, you start this speech, right after you see the leg bonds break, right?
Yeah,
or
right.
As you're giving the speech, the leg bonds break, but then depending on how this roll goes, maybe Deus stills, maybe they don't.
It's a 4, a 5, and a 1.
4, 5, and a 1. I think what happens is, so they listen to you, but right before they do, as they were breaking out of the leg thing, I think they kicked you in the head a little bit. But then I think the fact that you no-sold the kick also helped.
Yeah.
Take a level 1 harm, dazed.
Or I have a slight pitch for you. A slight alteration.
Yeah, please.
I think maybe they, kicked me, right in, the side, the gut, but, with their whole shin. And I just, put, my forearm, over their leg, after the impact.
Yeah.
And just, kind of held it against me as I gave my...
I like that a lot better, actually. So are you at 7 stress or 8 from all this?
I didn't get a stress from just that, right? So...
You didn't get a stress from taking the damage, just from pushing yourself.
Yeah. So I'm at 7.
Wow. Okay. Almost got 3 scars this mission. But yeah, go ahead and give yourself a level 1 harm just in case it comes up again, but I don't think it will. And I think it'll be... what's the word when somebody punches you in the stomach? Winded?
Yeah.
Winded, the wind knocked out of you is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Bread basket.
What?
Right in the bread basket.
Bread basket.
Bread
You're
basket.
getting hit.
Take the level 1 harm, oomphed.
You got it.
Onomatopoeia'd.
Yeah. Perfect. We're going to cut back to airship crew now. There is 1 opossum left. If you can kill the 2 people inside of it without throwing it out the thing, you'll have 1 Avi you can give to TC and 2 that you can sell for scrap. So
yeah, I think Calico's gonna rush it.
Okay, I do think you are in a risky position, not a controlled one, sadly.
Yeah.
Are you soliciting help from Winter at all? It would only cost 1 stress for Winter to help you.
Yeah, if Winter wants, but
yeah, I'll help.
Cool. So rushing it. So this is a battle, right? Or struggle, rather.
Yeah, I think what Calico's doing is
this might help a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the way I'm helping is by obscuring their view. I still have 3 pretty big obbies.
Yeah.
That I can use to
You're interdicting yourself between, so that they can't get a good bead on Calico, right?
Yeah, or at the very least, they're probably not worried about a guy on the ground.
Right. You're keeping their attention. But they still have the windows down from when they were shooting at you through them earlier, right? Mm-hmm. So you have the English.
But one of the guys is in the big artillery gun, so even less accessible to a dude rushing him.
Exactly. Right. So I think Calico is just rushing this thing, and he's going to try and jump / climb up the side of it and just rip that dude out of the artillery. Is it
I don't think the artillery
from inside.
Yeah, it's man from inside. So
okay, so
looking at it, it doesn't look like there's a seat on.
Okay, cool. But then what he's gonna do is try and open the door and pull the people out of the cab.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the windows are already rolled down from when they were leaning out the side shooting at you with small arms fire. So, but yeah, you can reach in through the door. Actually, you're wearing powered armor, right? So you can probably
it's not powered because that's would probably be a thing. Right. But it's big, bulky armor, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, you could reach in through the open window and rip the door open, right?
Yeah, that's the goal is basically just get inside and do violence.
So you're starting at 3 dice here with Winter's help. Do you want to push yourself for that 4th die? You don't really. Or you could push yourself to get yourself in a controlled position instead of a risky.
I want to drop down to desperate again.
Okay.
Because if this is desperate, great, and I can just clear both of those guys out at once.
You're gonna clear. Yeah. Yes, that's true. Absolutely.
Just the resignation in your voice, Pete.
No, I love it. I'm just worried. I'm worried for y'all, you know?
I'm not worried for Calico. Calico's fine.
So that doesn't even cause stress for you to drop that. Do you?
Nope.
I mean, do you want that 4th die or what?
Nope, I don't want the 4th die. I'll take the 3, and then I have to drop 1, which I'm going to put the 3 in here. So that's my...
Okay.
The 3 is my forewarned,
so that means you have
2.
That means you have, what, a 4 and a 5 left?
I have a 4 left.
Just 1 4 left. Okay.
Yep, so we're doing action roll struggle. This is what, desperate, and then effect is great or standard?
Well, it would have been great, but because you've got a level 1 harm, that had brought you down to limited, so it actually will be standard, right?
Okay. Yep, that's
how the game works, baby.
And I'm rolling 2 dice here.
Yep.
Oh, a 2, a 1, and a 3. Love it. I told you, Calico knew this had to go bad.
Do you want to spend your spark to resist
I'm spending
the
my spark.
consequence you're about to get?
He's like, I know that this is the bit. I know that this is where things go wrong.
It says negate a consequence rather than resist it. But you don't succeed, right?
I don't succeed, no.
So you use, your predictive powers allow you to, like, dodge the 2 bullets that were coming straight for your head. And you get the door open, but you can't get off. You have, like, you thought you would have that split second to pull the trigger, right, on your shotgun, and you just didn't. You had to spend that time to dodge. You are now in a desperate position.
For sure.
So no more trading position for effect for you. Whatever action you take next will be at desperate limited. Choose wisely.
Desperate limited. Okay. This is, Shotgun's like big, bulky, right? So I think what happens is this just like, it's desperate, it's limited. Calico's like in the cab now, just like fucking punching these dudes, fighting with them. And I'm gonna declare my concealed palm pistol. And it's just like a,
okay.
You remember in Glorious Bastards, if you've seen it, where they have like the little like punch gun,
like a Derringer almost.
Yeah, he just like slugs attempts to slug the dude in the gut and have the gun go off at the same time.
Yeah, like a gunblade in Final Fantasy VIII.
I'm gonna spend 2 stress to push myself, so I'll be desperate standard.
Okay.
Struggle down by 1.
Oh, so I mean, there's only 1 tick left on this clock, so even a limited success will kill both these guys.
And I'm getting a 4, so
right,
because I gotta put my bonus die.
Oh, but yeah. So do you want to spend the push yourself to get yourself into like risky instead of
desperate?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, because I want the XP for rolling desperate again.
Okay.
Also, like, again, this is the thing that Calico does. Is like he's not necessarily the best at it, but like he knows it's his duty that he's taken on.
How many dice?
I really want to.
Are you rolling here total? Just the 2?
I'm rolling 1. I'm rolling 1 die.
And I don't think Winter is in like a good spot to help you any longer. If they help you, they will take a scar, and we'll get 3 scars on this.
So yeah, it's risky standard.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, desperate standard.
Yeah, sorry, desperate standard. Well, I rolled a 3, but I'm getting a 4. So
yeah, 3 and a 4. That means you take a desperate consequence. Your maneuver with the concealed palm pistol works, right? But the concealed palm pistol still takes 1 load, right?
No, because we have rigging.
Oh,
consulate rigging, so it's free.
Rigging. Nice. Okay, it works. You blast that guy in the gut. He's dead. His friend gets off also a point blank shot on you, just ripping open a huge hole in your armor as he fires at you point blank. You're going to take the level 3 harm blasted. But as like he like shoots you, like his wound is to like your chest and shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it causes the hand that's holding the shotgun to contract by reflex. And so you also kill him, right?
Okay.
Like
I am going to resist the wound.
Okay. Roll a prowess resist.
I don't roll because it's forewarned, and I just re-rolled my prediction pool, and I'm dropping a 6 in, so I'm fine.
Okay.
I don't take any
That's
stress
going to drop
on
to
that.
a level 2 harm, then
Yep.
shot.
Shot.
Shot. Just shot. I couldn't think of any more synonyms for a bullet is in your body.
Yeah, I don't have enough to drop any more armor in.
Yeah, just again for listeners, the new prediction pool was 6, 3, 2, and 5. So now there is a 3, a 2, and a 5 left.
And when you get a 6 on
a resist, you take 0 stress. That's
it's just 0 stress, yes.
If you had somehow rolled
if it's 2 sixes, you get
6s,
stress back, right?
Right. But you only have 1 die in prowess, so that's not possible for you. But I do think isn't that a 4th XP for you, or did you only make 3 desperate rolls?
No, I think that might be the 4th one.
I think that was the 4th one.
Calico has just been in a desperate fight this whole time. I mean, he did take on a lot of guys.
All right, we're going to zoom out here now. Adrian, so Deus has fully surrendered to Winter. They've stopped struggling because Gwendolyn Christie is intimidating. Adrian, you successfully stopped the countdown.
I stop it at 10 seconds rather than 1 second because I think it would be really funny to give this huge doomsday weapon to Terminal Company and then they turn it on and then there's 10 seconds left to detonate. Just a nice little jab back after the whole trophy incident.
I'm going to put that in the, I'm going to make sure that's in the after action report.
Also, it's really important to me as a player to like constantly make messes that spread outside of our particular missions.
Hey, and if that's your goal as a player, it's 100% happened this time. Our hacker and our officer now both have so Adrian, you slump forward, sweat, like rolling down you as you finish, and your gossamer thread, which is still attached, I think, to the glorious odds, like you scuttle up it and re-rendezvous with the ship. Pops, you, in shock, pilot the Recurrence to the designated drop-off point where Terminal Company will retrieve it. And that's all for the Blue Sky Endowment this week on CalazCon. Join us next time for the fallout from this mission as we see what happens going into downtime.
Thanks for listening to CalazCon. This episode was edited and sound balanced by Christine Blight. You can reach her for voice acting at cvblight@gmail.com. The show's music is by Devin Nelson. You can find them on all social media at Devin Decibel. If you'd like to support CalazCon, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Please tell your friends about the show too. Remember, all glory to Calazar.